avoid the left turn to 190, climbing 5,000.
All right. Welcome. All right. Had a bit of a false start earlier, so this is try number 2. I did try to stream earlier, but I had an internet issue, which I think I've located to having something to do with my router. But anyway, it's been reset. It's working fine. Everything's good. So here we are, Monday, August 8th, 2022. We got some work to do today on our main terminal ramp. Gonna do some detail work, get some markings in there and whatnot, and start really fleshing it out, making it look like a real terminal ramp. As you can see here, we are... I'm going to keep this turned up. Turn down the... I got this and the ATC on the same channel, so I'm going to have to control the sources individually here. There we go, that's better. Alright, so you can see we've got a couple static aircraft parked here, so we're going to go ahead and just jump right on in.
November 7711 Yankee, Greensboro approach, expected visual approach, runway 33, descend and maintain 4,000.
I want to start by thanking everybody who came out and watched yesterday's stream. Got some good work done, some important stuff, and I appreciate it. Today's a no face cam stream just because, I don't know, I'm just going to be trying to plug away at the work here, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to worry about what was going on around me too much today. Alright, let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, the colors all stay the same. I love it when that happens. Okay, so I'm going to lock everything up here because I don't want to delete those by accident. And we'll lock the runways up for the same purpose. The FedEx ramp and signature ramp are also locked. And we go into taxis. I'm going to turn all the paths off. I don't want to see those. Terminal ramp. Let's go ahead and hide the ramp. There we go. So I've done another FS Earth Tiles quick scenery here, and I'm still having the same problem. For some reason, I get really nice and detailed textures over here, which are good enough to draw lines on and things like that. But when I get over here, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a big time quality difference. The line that goes right down here, it's detailed here, not so much there. It does that every time I compile this scenery. I don't know what that is. There's always a break, and everything to the left of it is really not nearly as detailed as everything to the right of it. I can't figure out why that is. What Google has to hide, so I'm chalking that up to a Google problem. Luckily, all the parking spots are not affected by this. So this is going to work despite it. I can get some lines in for all of these pretty easily. I don't know why my parking signs are not showing up. Maybe that's a paths thing. Maybe I have to have the paths turned on for that to show up. Yep, that's what at. So I turn the paths on and now the parking numbers show up. Okay. That's good to know. Hide the paths, they go away. So what I want to do today is get some more lines painted on this. It would be really nice if I could see this part right here because I can get these lines in, but anyway. Let's just continue what I was working on already yesterday a little. I don't think I did it on stream, I don't believe. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and to get back to some painted lines. Benjamin Volter, good morning to you, or whatever time of day it is for you. Thanks for joining us today. And let's see, we're going to make sure we're in our FedEx ramp, or terminal ramp, I should say, and lines folder, which we are, and we're going to add another line. Start right down here. The song's almost over. There we go. Music's off. Let's go ahead and start drawing some lines.
Visual 23 left tower, 2 Charlie Juliet. See you in a bit.
Really simple stuff we're doing right now. This is so easy, guys, to do these things. Just paint up your ramp a little bit. use a good source like FS Earth styles to get you some nice underneath photos, some up-to-date stuff. And this goes by really fast. I'm doing really well today, sir. It's thank you for asking. It's Monday, so it's back to work today. Obviously, this is not work, but I don't go to work until 3 p.m., so I've got another about 3 hours till I need to leave the house. So I've got 2 straight 3 p.m. shifts this week, so I will be going in at 3 p.m. tomorrow as well. Which means I have a nice chunk of the morning that I can spend doing this stuff. Which is good, because I want to get this to a state at which I can show other people, you know? Alright. Those lines are finished. Finitoed.
Number 91 Whiskey Squawk 0150.
Start there. 901 Whiskey, the aircraft that I did my private pilot's license in. Training in, anyway.
11 miles south of the field. Appears about 7 miles in diameter.
25 miles southwest of Greensboro. Information India current. The altimeter 3017 to altitude.
One of our several trainees on the south radar position talking there.
Number 91 Whiskey, Roger. Expect only 23 less. Maintain VFR at or above 3,500 till advised.
That is not a trainee. That is the west radar position.
November 11 Yankee, descend to maintain 3,000.
1 Yankee to 3,000.
901 Whiskey is a Piper Cherokee 140. Either a 150 or a 160 conversion. I don't know what the heck that means, but it didn't have a 160 horsepower engine in it, I know that much. Several Cherokee 140s at our airport now. Doing flight training currently at well, for the 140 specifically, I guess there's 2 different schools for that, but we also have a what's the word, an Archer, Piper Archer at another school, so there's a whole bunch of training going on. I'm from North Carolina. Well, I'm not from North Carolina, I live in North Carolina. I'm from California. No, don't hold it against me. You can probably hear the kids in the background. I got one kid at school, and the other 2 are a little young for school yet, so they're at home today, causing all sorts of trouble. As you're supposed to do when you're a kid, I guess. Alright, that's nice. Just finishing out these center lines here on the terminal ramp. Yesterday we went over, if you can go back in history and see yesterday's stream, I went to the FedEx ramp and laid down a whole bunch of parking spots, so it's a good, footage on how to do that. It's pretty simple. That's right, we need a bunch of Californians.
November 7 Mike Delta, how far west are you looking to go? You're getting pretty close to Greensboro's final.
Clock.
I have a noise gate set up too, so that you could hear them a little bit less, but they still, kiddos still cut through pretty strong.
235, approach quarter, I believe. 704 Mike Delta.
7 Mike Delta, roger, thank you.
Winston Tower, 23.75. Thank you.
Now, what's kind of wonky about doing this is I'm using, this is a Google Earth image underlying right now.
Number 0 Golf Bravo.
That
Charlotte approach on 126.
has pretty good detail in it. It's the most up to date, as I've said many times. In terms of what's going on underneath it, the actual photo is the most recently taken one I'm aware of. That's out there for photo scenery. That you can get you freely, at least. And because of that, it's pretty much the prime subject of what I'm trying to get done, because the markings on terminal ramps, especially ours, I don't know if it's just unique to ours or not, but they seem to change a lot. Airlines decide they want to move stuff around, they get more airplanes, less airplanes. Airports change gate configurations a little bit here and there. And next thing you know, like, for instance, Allegiant used to park in one spot, now they park in another spot. Spirit Airlines used to come in here, they don't come in here at all anymore. So as the parking needs on the ramp change, so do the markings. They change the configuration a bit based on what type of airplanes are going to be coming in too. So keeps everything fresh and up to date. And also, but it also means that the paint changes a whole lot. I think because of that, it is really necessary to, from time to time, come in and alter these things. I don't like this at all. There we go. That'll work better. Let's tilt down a bit here. See this a little bit better.
Helicopter 20287, contact Atlanta Center 125.15. Good day.
It was especially the FedEx ramp, the one that I did yesterday, that I really wanted an updated picture on, because I know that they've done some changes on that since the last time this Bing folder was done, and we're pretty much almost exclusively a jets only operation now, where when those photos were taken there was jets and several like ATRs and caravans. But because of the volume that we get now, which is higher, we get a lot more jets for FedEx, and they had to alter the parking spots on their ramp to accommodate that. Because take a look real quick here at the FedEx ramp. What you see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots up here. These are all jets. 1, 2 here, and then what is technically a pair of ATR parking spots there. It used to be that there was 6 jet spots across here, and then there was like 1 jet spot and 3 smaller spots for ATRs and or Cessna Caravans. So since we have a much altered need now, there's 9 jet spots and 1 spot really for ATRs. Technically 2 spots, but if this one is occupied by a jet, there's no way you can fit another ATR in there, so I don't even bother painting that one. We don't ever get 2 ATRs here anyway. It's all jets and 1 ATR a night. So anyway, right. All these dodging some rain out there today. One more little line here. So I consider this to be detail work. This is adding a little bit of life to the airport. This is fun stuff also. So yeah, the kiddos are... One of them's still back there. So they've got the 2 younger ones, 3-year-old and a 1-year-old back there, just making all sorts of noise. Staying relatively quiet at the moment, which is nice. Alright, so there's yellow line there. So all of these yellow lines for this part of the ramp are done. Oh, I got to do that turn also, which I'm going to kind of be guesstimating at. So I don't think these markings, these centerline markings, have changed much in the scenery. I think it's still, that's why I'm not too concerned about this part being of lower resolution. So I'm pretty sure that that part will not matter much, because I'll be able to use the Bing source for that. So I'm just going to draw some sort of junky line. And then the difference between Google and Bing in terms of the exact placement, sometimes things are off by a few inches. And when I load back into the default photo scenery from the sim, it'll be like, oh, well, that doesn't look right.
3016, and just a heads up, we're probably going to need to deviate a little bit for the weather. Number 2 Mike Charlie, Rogers, maintain VFR. Maintain VFR, 62 Mike Charlie.
Some small thunderstorms in the area today. isolated thunderstorms, as happens quite a bit this time of year. It's been a good year for storms and rain activity in general. I definitely think it's a good thing. What's wrong with this one? Unfinished edition. Where's this?
Blue Street 5390 Greensboro. Approach Greensboro, altimeter 3016. Would you like to
No,
short
we need that.
right
Okay. Get rid of that. See, it's nice to have a color code some things that are in error.
Blue Street 5390, you can expect that.
In error. That looks decent. Comes up here, branches off that way. So these were done on Bing, so you can see they're off by a few inches. And it's just always going to kind of be off. It's not that big of an issue. There's at some point, and I have to keep telling myself this, and I think other developers have the same problem. At some point, you just got to let it go. Got to let it go and say that's good enough. Is it my hub or local airport? It's actually both. It's the airport I work at. It's the local. Well, I don't know if it's technically the most local airport to me, but there's like two airports. One in Winston-Salem, which is India November Tango, and Greensboro Golf Sierra Oscar, which are right here in town. I do live near both of those, and so this is the airport I work at as an air traffic controller. So this is the one that I am taking on. The most intimate knowledge of. So this is interesting because this is not this wide on the Bing Maps version. Let's do that.
Number 2 Mike Charlie, what altitude do you plan on descending to?
Going down to 4,500, 6 Mike Charlie.
Roger.
How's that look? Got a little too wide on the left. Just a hair too wide on the left, and then too thin on the right.
Departure is at jet 373, climb to 2,300,
Does that look?
3,000 on a 270 heading.
That's better.
Jet 373, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 4,000, and reaching 4,000, clear direct Wayne.
Los Angeles and Ontario. A little closer to Ontario. Ontario's like quite a bit east of Los Angeles, isn't it? I think in like Riverside or something like that.
Approach looks like 62 Mike Charlie. Looks like we need to go down to about 3,500 to get out of the clouds.
Number 2 Mike Charlie, roger.
But yeah, this is the part of the world I live in, so it's the airport I'm doing, and it's a nice medium-sized airport that has a lot of different things going on. So if you're trying to learn about scenery development, you're going to learn a whole lot of things from an airport like this. Was there a hole right there? Let me get there. Got some flattening to do. Because you get a terminal, you get jetways. There's buildings there that I have just hidden right now. You got cargo, more cargo, whole bunch of different runways, approach lights, lighting systems, ramps, GA ramps. This is a Honda Jet facility. That's where they build this is where they build the Honda Jets. This right here. That's where they do customer service over there. This is HACO. This is an aircraft maintenance. They do the entire Alaska Airlines fleet here of A320s and Boeing 737s. And we've got the U.S. military, the Air Force's KC-10s are done. They do maintenance in these two hangars. This is a mix mash of FedEx, United, 757s, more Alaska planes, things like that are done. They do maintenance on there, and then the same thing over here. American Airlines gets some of its 737s done here. This is a citation service center. It's a Textron, it's technically called. So they do Beach Jets, King Airs, and a whole lot of citation work there. Got, let's see, this is a FBO, not an FBO, this is a charter hangar, maintenance hangar here for Swift Air. And there's Jetit has hangars down here, so they are a Honda Jet charter that's based out of Greensboro. Over here you have Corey Aviation, and this is an FBO. These two, this is the hangar right here that I'm doing my first 3D model on. Oh gosh, the sim is doing its runaway thing again. It's just traveling on its own right now. Okay, I got it stopped. There's the airport operator. It's doing it again. Stop spinning on me. Stupid. Why is it doing this? Alright. I screw around too much, the airplane kind of flops around. Anyway. This was not an introductory trip. I got caught up in things like this, so get a lot less work done as a result. Anyway, do consider liking and subscribing if you're watching. It's gonna not always be just this kind of work, but I think this stuff is important to get done. I figure if I am working on it, I might as well let people see what's going on so they can kind of learn these steps themselves and hopefully inspire some of you guys to try to take on a project like this as well, because this is worthwhile stuff in my opinion. It's fun, it's time consuming, but it is gratifying, and I definitely feel a sense of accomplishment when I get stuff like this done, and it seems like people are pretty excited to use this airport. Yeah, I think you've been in before, Benjamin. If I may call you Ben, if you don't like that, let me know. I think you've been in here before, and I'm sorry if I'm not super good at recognizing these things, but my memory is, you know, I got a good memory for air traffic control things. Not always the best for names and things like that. So it's my shortcomings. Do a little turdy marks here. I don't know what to call these.
November 2 Mike Charlie, maintain VFR at above 3,500 to advise.
Okay, maintain VFR at above 3,500, 62 Mike Charlie.
It's always a good idea to altitude restrict VFRs if there's going to be a conflict. I don't care what kind of airspace. We have Class Charlie airspace here, and so it's not uncommon for us to have to separate guys, at least inside of the Class Charlie airspace, but we have sort of a large area that we work with, and it's better service, I believe, for us to kind of treat every aircraft as if they're in our airspace as if they're in the Charlie airspace specifically. Charlie takes up just a small, not a small fraction, but it is just a fraction of our airspace. There's plenty more that are not in the Class Charlie or the outer area of the Class Charlie. Lots of little satellite airports and overflight airspace, as we like to call it. And boy, are there overflights. Our airport is a very, very popular kind of a throughway for Charlotte approaches, Charlotte airport's traffic, and not necessarily their traffic going to that airport, but anything in their airspace, which is like Concord and Monroe, North Carolina, places like that. Mid-Carolina Regional, which is in Rowan County, Salisbury, North Carolina, stuff like that. And we got one in Stanley County, Albemarle, stuff like that. And so that's all in Charlotte approaches airspace, and we get plenty of traffic going, transiting going that way. You get traffic going into Sanford, or like Chapel Hill area where UNC is located. We get aircraft that are going towards Raleigh, into Roanoke, like Lynchburg. Liberty University is up in Lynchburg, Lynchburg, Virginia, and they're not in our airspace, but they're up next to our airspace, so they get a lot of transiting aircraft that come through. And people just, you know, flying all over the country quite a bit. We got 12,000 and below airspace, so it's a fair amount of airspace. Charlotte has 16,000 and below. So if you're flying through our part of the country, chances are you're going to come through our airspace. And our main job, for IFR aircraft at least, is to route them around Charlotte, because Charlotte doesn't want a whole lot of our IFR overflights in their airspace. They're pretty busy with other things. So we end up having to reroute them around, going through either Fayetteville's airspace to our south or Atlanta centers to the west, and sort of just go around to the northwest, or I guess northeast or southeast of Charlotte Airport. This is all very general because I don't, this is so blurry I can't tell what's what here. That can be fixed later with the Bing imagery. Say that's good there. Plus there's some dirt here on these marks, so I can't tell what's what. Whatever. It's a filthy ramp. What are you going to do? Good enough for now.
Departure Bonanza 72291, heading 300, we're 1.7 for 3000. Bonanza 72291, Greensboro, departure radar contact, VFR altitude your discretion at or below 3000, and resume on navigation in Blues Creek. On nav Blues Creek, we'll stop it at 3, and once we leave Blues Creek, we're going to ask, get vectors for an ILS over to Winston, be a low approach, and then an RNAV back into Greensboro, just FYI. November 2901, roger. Blue Streak 5390, turn left heading 360, vectors for the approach. On your rollout, traffic will be off your right wing for 3 miles, the Cherokee maneuvering at 3000.
This just got scattered all about.
Turn it to 360 on the head of 5390.
This happens sometimes if you're not in the right folder. Then things get really disorganized.
Blue Streak 5390, turn left heading 320. 320, 5390. November 74, uniform, contact Atlanta Center 125.15, good day.
125.15, 74 uniform, good day.
Yeah, for Gemjet 834, can we get a lower, this layer right here, it's really choppy in it.
Gemjet 834, descend and maintain 4000, traffic 11 o'clock, and 6 miles maneuvering Cherokee at 2,700.
All right, we're going down to 4,000. We're going IMC in this layer.
Blue Streak 5390, descend and maintain 3,000. Airport's 10 o'clock, 10 miles port in sight. 3,000, we'll field to type 5390. Blue Streak 5390, clear visual approach running 23 left, contact tower 119.1, good day. Clear visual 23 left, over tower, have a good day, 5390.
Descending to 4,000 at the King Air.
All right, roger, we'll keep an eye out for the King Air, 705 Mike Delta, thanks. So 3,000 VFR. Okay, we see you on the scope, negative visual, but looking. 62 Mike Charlie. November 2901, traffic 2 o'clock and 4 miles southwestbound, Twin Diamond, 3,500 VFR. Yeah, we got him in sight, 291. Gamma 834, can you take a base turn?
Sure thing, for 834.
Gamma 834, turn left heading 320.
320 for Gamma Jet 834.
I got all of this.
62 Mike Charlie has traffic in
Another
safe.
terminal ramp folder.
Roger. Number 2901, the traffic's going to pass behind you, no factor, has you in sight. We got him in sight as well, 291. Roger.
That's better.
Departure, good afternoon, November 442 Charlie Juliet, 1600, climbing 5,190 heading.
November 442 Charlie Juliet, Green.
I don't need anything out of taxiways, I don't think. Alright, sir, we will continue on.
Number 901 Victor Romeo, Greensboro approach, roger. Advise when you have the weather and expect the visual approach into the airport.
So these all act as sort of a loose edge to where the taxiway is, because this is technically part of Taxiway Juliet. It's non-movement. We can still consider it Juliet.
Vectors for ILS 330 West, that'd be a low approach.
November 2901, roger, set the ILS approach runway 33 at Winston-Salem, information Oscar currents, and it'll be option back to me.
Yes, the option back to you, and then setting up for an RNAV, 23 left or right, either side will be a full stop after that.
Number 2901, roger, expect the ILS approach runway 33 at Winston-Salem, turn left heading 210.
Okay, left turn 210, and ILS 33 into Winston, Panther 291.
MJ 834, descend and maintain 3,000, and traffic to follow is regional jets.
Made a new friend in our
140 knots indicated.
All right,
on my video yesterday.
We got the jet in sight.
Guy sent a comment from me who's from Winston-Salem area, also an air traffic controller in Lake Charles, Louisiana. He's doing some scenery stuff as well, so hopefully we got sort of a little
Yes, we're gonna keep that here for the
family of controlling scenery makers kind of coming together. It's pretty cool.
And 2 Charlie Juliet, just let me know when you're ready for a vector.
You have not been here before. Okay. I couldn't remember if I'd seen you before. Well, I'm glad you're here now, man. So it's great to see you. Are you interested in scenery design stuff at all? If you're not, the question is, why aren't you? This is pretty easy to do. So yeah, just come in and start working on your local airport. So what I want to do for this, I'm going to go gate 40 here. I'm going to make a new folder for gate 40. Gate 40. Because I have the parking spot there, but I also want to make some painted lines. Keep it all together here. Default painted line selected.
Altitude maintain 6,000. 6,000,
Okay, I had 2 calling at the same time, I believe. 2 Charlie Juliet, turn left heading of 140 vectors to Raleigh.
I'll hash out those T's again in a little while. Alright, 42. Got off 42.
Verify you're returning to Greensboro.
Affirm, done for the day. Direct Greensboro, we have India.
November 7 Mike Delta, fly heading 270, join final for runway 23 left. Disregard.
270, join the final for 23 left, 04 Mike Delta.
And 2 Charlie Juliet, we need to stay on this heading for just a minute. We got a big hole here.
Roger.
We got a big hole here.
124.35.
Alright.
291, turn left heading
180.
291. Approach Caravan 704 Mike Delta 270 on the heading direct. We have India, sorry.
November 7 Mike Delta, Greensboro approach, roger, make straight in runway 23 left and contact tower 119.1, good day.
Straight in, 23 left over to tower 19. 1704 Mike Delta, good day.
Thanks, Ben, for the subscription and the like. It's worth checking back from time to time, see what we're doing.
And 2 Charlie Juliet, where are you going right now?
I guess by we I mean me.
Or 2 Charlie Juliet.
Alright, we're ready for the vector now, sir. Sorry about that.
Number 2 Charlie Juliet, roger, turn right.
Wow, I definitely spelled that wrong. Geist. Geist 48.
Roger, information, India.
Now boarding Geist 48.
Visual approach runway 23 left.
Roger, we have India on board, 23 left, Jordan, November 771 Alpha Golf.
November 1 Alpha Golf.
LA and Ontario.
That is the Guild.
I'm a Northern California boy myself, so I don't know if we're allowed to talk to each other or not.
VFR, my discretion. Altitude 62 Mike Charlie.
November 1 Victor Romeo, roger.
Here's gate 51.
Hey, Greensboro, can you give us about a 150 and let us climb just a little bit, or at least see what it looks like on the other side of these things? They're getting really tall here.
2 Charlie Juliet, turn right heading 150, and how high did you want to climb?
I'll tell you what, let's just do the 150 or so for now, and then let me see what's on the other side of this.
Get
Approach
50
for November
Alpha.
771 Alpha Golf, any chance to fly position Brand?
You can go to Brant, but Brant ain't working right now. ILS is out of service on that runway.
Any chance to fly the position Brand for November 771 Alpha Golf?
November 1 Alpha Golf, you can expect direct Brant once you get a little bit closer to the airport.
Okay, perfect. November 771 Alpha Golf. Thank you, sir.
Alright, 2 Charlie Juliet, maintain 9,000, contact Raleigh approach 127.67, and let them know if you need to deviate.
By the way, you're listening to our air traffic controllers right now at Greensboro.
Appreciate the help.
Not a problem.
6,000 for November 771 Alpha Golf.
This gate, what, 49 is it? Yeah. Which one is this? 47A. Not all of our gates have jetways. This one does not. There's actually a couple that share jetways. These two technically share jetways, but you can't model that in the sim. So this will just be jetwayless.
Okay, approach November 771 Alpha Golf. We have a
What's
Phillips
happening here?
November 1 Alpha Golf, roger.
Yeah, 47A. The 47B. Did I not do gate 46?
Number 291, turn right heading 240, descend and maintain 2,500.
Gate 45, however.
240, 2,500, 291.
Greensboro, November 1 Victor Romeo, need to come right around the build-up.
November 1 Victor
Let's
Romeo,
just fill these
deviation
out real
left and
quick
right
before I
are
start
approved,
doing anything
one
else.
Direct 3 Alpha 4.
Deviation approved, 1 able direct 3 Alpha 4, 1 Victor Romeo.
There we go.
November 291, 5 miles from final approach fix, turn right heading 300, maintain at about 2,500 till established on localizer cleared ILS runway 33 approach.
300, 2,500, we're clear, ILS 33 approach, into Winston, Bonanza 291.
November 1 Alpha Golf, depart Guilford heading 090 for the approach.
After Guilford, heading 090, November 771 Alpha Golf.
Some of our trainees are pretty sharp guys and have a lot of experience in the military and whatnot with being approach controllers, so it's
November 1 Alpha Golf, still
fun to
Yes, sir, we have a
watch and listen to them sort of develop in the FAA. Controlling in the FAA is a lot different than controlling in the military, because there's a way wide excuse me, way wide range of aircraft types and performance that you get in the civilian world. And they all want different things. Stuff that you don't get in the military. They want practice approaches into satellite airports. They want stuff. There's a whole bunch of different stuff going on in your airspace that isn't just at your main airport. Especially at our airport, we get a lot of our traffic is not just here at the main airport in our airspace. Some pretty busy satellites. Non-towered satellites at that.
At least one aircraft in the vicinity of Mid-Carolina. Squawk VFR, change your advisory frequency.
This gate, this terminal is pretty much done with center lines for parking spots. Let's turn our apron back on and have a look-see.
November 1 Victor Romeo,
Roger, for that to look right, we've got to turn the paths on. There we go. Oh, gosh, this thinking Zoom is stuck again. There we go. All right. Now we get some of these things. Get some center lines in there. Hey, go park there. Go park there. Go park there. You can park there, there. Park here. You can try your hand at parking here. I guess that's right. And definitely park there. There's a good park there. Good spot to park there. There and there.
November 1 Alpha Golf, contact tower 119.1, good day.
19-1, having a good day, sir. Thank you for your help today. November 771 Alpha Golf.
To the other side. This will probably be easier to see, at least, I would think. Very nice. Gate 22. So I guess the question is, if you follow us for a little bit longer and this becomes available as a if I come out and say like, hey, I'm making Greensboro Airport, would any of my viewers like to be sort of beta testers for my scenery?
Number 1 Victor Romeo, roger.
Just trying to see how many people would be interested in doing something like that. So Ben, if you're there and you think that would something that interests you, just let me know.
Number 722-901, Greensboro departure ident.
There's the ident, 72291.
Number 722-901, radar contact 1 mile northwest of Winston-Salem. Verify you want the RNAV approach, runway 23 right, and how the approach.
Main testing would be making sure things like jetways and everything work. And
There'll be a full stop, Bonanza 291.
Number 722-901, roger.
Quality is up to snuff.
4,000 and stand by for a turn towards final.
Alright, we're heading 240 at this time, and 4,000, not sure I can make it quite up that far and stay VFR.
November 291, roger. Just maintain VFR at or above 3,500.
Alright, at or above 3.5, Bonanza 291.
Swing around 34 Alpha.
November 291, turn left heading 090 when able, clear direct error for the RNAV runway 23 right.
Alright, 090 for now, and direct error, we'll get that put in, 291.
November 1 Victor Romeo, contact approach 126.6.
Sometimes these things just get a little bit jumbled up.
6.6, 1 Victor Romeo, thanks, Phelps, good day.
It'd be hard to really see through to what's going on.
And 291 is turning direct to Harris this time.
November 2901, roger, you can expect your approach off of Harris.
Roger.
Squawk 5004 Yankee, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3015.
1-5, here for you.
Greensboro, Dakota 1-5, East Air Whiskey, checking in. Information Juliet.
November 152 Sierra Whiskey, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3015, expect runway 23 left shortened.
Alright, 3015, expect 23 left short, East Air Whiskey.
Okay.
East Air Whiskey like to deviate a little bit to the south.
Who wanted to deviate?
1-5, East Air Whiskey like to deviate to the south.
November 152 Sierra Whiskey, roger. Approved this request to maintain VFR.
Come back on that, East Air Whiskey.
November 2 Sierra Whiskey, that's approved as requested, maintain VFR.
East Air Whiskey should be on the IFR flight plan.
Yeah, for some reason the flight plan I got from the other sector has you VFR, but your IFR confirmed?
Roger. East Whiskey.
Okay. It's a good time to go ahead and go back to scene radar, save all of
November
this.
152 Sierra Whiskey, turn left. I
Do
think,
a quick
a left
build
turn to,
package, make sure everything's still
should keep you
lining up
clear of
well.
that weather. Let me know if you
One
need
skipped,
other
2 done,
deviations.
0 failed. 0 failed is what we look for all the time, pretty much. Don't want failures. Looking good. All right, and with that,
Greensboro 1 Victor Romeo, we can make a VFR from here. We cancel IFR with you.
got more
November
taxiway
901 Victor Romeo, roger, IFR cancellation.
markings to hash out, I think.
VFR and change to advisory. I have no traffic observed between you and southeast Greensboro.
So now I'll go up here to paths and hide them all.
Have a great day.
Gonna close out the ramp right now. Another cargo ramp down here that I'll have to do. Make sure all these taxiways here are complete. They are. Oh, one thing I wanted to get done is I want to continue the taxiway path structure to get the rest of the airport here.
Via radar vectors.
Clear to Greensboro Airport via radar vectors, East Air Whiskey.
Maybe not all the markings per se, but get the pathing in. So let's
Number 8 Romeo
see
Sierra, what altitude
here.
were you planning on descending to?
Descending to 5,500, avoid the weather.
Number 8 Romeo Sierra,
Unhide
roger.
the paths, but we can go and I think hide all the taxiways
November
themselves.
201 10 miles from Hare, across Hare at or above 3,000, cleared RNAV, runway 23 right approach.
That's better.
Hair at or above 3,000, we're clear for the RNAV.
So we got all these done.
Bonanza 7201.
Parking structure of the
Greensboro Commander 887, Sierra Delta, checking in, coming up level
FedEx ramp.
We are deviating and
Excuse me.
I believe we're going to miss most of it.
Number 887 Sierra Delta, Greensboro approach, roger, information Juliet, current expect runway 23 left.
Okay, 23 left. And
Beginnings of
I'm gonna
taxiway echo. So we'll start there.
04 Yankee, were you on a heading or deviating? And then when able, direct
So to do this, we go over here to taxiway point. One-click placing. It gets choppy when you scroll through on this.
Just let me know when you have the weather
This
and
mode.
say your approach request.
We'll grab the weather as soon as able, and we'll do the RNAV 13 at Rockingham, 04 Yankee.
Roger.
Sierra Delta, looking for lower when able.
November 2 Sierra Whiskey, turn right heading 270.
When able, clear direct Guilford and descend and maintain 6,000.
Guilford and 6,000, 7
Okay, let's select this. This should still say, no, it doesn't say it. Echo.
50 Papa Delta, Greensboro approach, IDAT.
This is also echo. I like to put a debug in for that. Actually, it's rendering taxi names. Make sure everything's named properly. Echo, 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 echo.
Maintain 9,000.
So this is actually going to be a hold short, no draw. Going in the correct direction. You see, you set that point as a hold short. It gives us a little arrow that says which direction you're going to be traveling in, and which direction the runway is in, really. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to save this. This scenery underlying here stinks, so I want to. I've saved it. I'm going to close it.
Clear direct, void when able. 5004.
Jane 12000, 2838.
Does it look like it just got better? I don't know. So these things don't change much. Okay, so we're gonna exit the sim here real quick.
Five 4 Zulu, squawk 7143.
Change some of the sceneries that I've got loaded in.
Delta 2838, turn right, direct fault.
Right, turn direct
Add
ball.
to the community folder. Take this and bring it out there. I'm done with it for now. Got sort of these different packs of FS Earth tiles. Terminal.
Charlie, Quebec Whiskey.
I've made, and I want to make sure that they're kind of all. This is the FedEx one. This is terminal ramp.
554 Zulu, radar contact 2 miles south.
So I've cleaned all the aerial FS Earth tile stuff out from the community folder. Now when I reload it, it should all be pretty much gone.
Chopper climb at 7,000, 50 Papa Delta. Plans, 04 Yankee will be going to Burlington after Southwest.
November 04 Yankee, roger.
By the way, I use the fast launch parameter on the Steam version here of Flight Sim that gets rid of all the Asobo video and the whatever the other opening videos are when you be with the sim. Excuse me.
4.05, good day.
I need to get more sleep.
2838, approved as requested.
Sceneries are keeping me up at night, man.
Number 50 Papa Delta, that looks like that's your on-course heading now?
Sierra, contact Washington Center 124.05, good day.
For 50 Papa Delta.
Number 50 Papa Delta, roger. I'm going to have to add one fix into your flight plan to keep you out of Charlotte's airspace. So you're clear direct to Gantz, Golf Alpha November Tango Sierra, and then direct destination. Maintain 7,000.
No problem, direct Gantz now and then destination.
So when I do that, you'll see that the FedEx chunk there, the terminal chunk there are gone. One thing I want to do before we jump in, let's go to options, general options, data. Come down here and delete the rolling cache file to make sure anything else that is in there is gone. Apply and save. Alright, back to the world map. Set that as our departure point. So the plane starts. Whenever you spawn in with your plane started at a parking spot, it automatically does a cold and dark start. It's cold and dark, or at least the engine's not running. The PMDGs, I think, default is it's in like a short turn state or something like a long turn state, something like that, where it's parked as if it's been sitting at a gate for a while, but it has already come in from one flight of the day. So it's got a few systems on and some electric provided to it and everything, but it doesn't have anything configured yet. It's already on external power and stuff like that. All right, good. So we're back to Bing imagery. Let's see what our most recent version of our scenery looks like without being in scenery editor.
50 Papa Delta. Descend and maintain 6,000. That's the
oh, I didn't update it.
For that routing.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
November 152 Sierra Whiskey. Turn
I have
right,
sinned, and that I have not put the new. I do this all the time. Let's see, add-ons, custom scenery. So when I published the last version, did a last build, I didn't actually ever put it in my scenery file. There we go. So replace all those old ones. That's done. And now we load up, and all that. The last batch of saves will be in there. It's a good opportunity for me to say, hey, if you're interested in learning more about Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery design, like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel, we got tons of videos already of me just sitting here on streams. I should say they're live streams of me doing various work on different parts of the airports. It's a huge catalog of stuff by this point, and it's hours and hours of me just droning on and working on this airport. So to search through to see how to do a particular technique is going to be hard for my channel, unfortunately. There are other YouTube videos on YouTube available to sort of act as tutorials. Eventually I'll probably go through and do a few of them of my own, but if you have questions or want to learn more about how to do any of this, you can check out my Discord, and my Discord channel is linked, I believe, in the in the video description below.
3015, and we're indicating 4,000, 60 Victor.
Yeah, it says got my Twitch channel, which is mostly inactive at this point. I haven't done a Twitch stream in ages because I'm doing all here on YouTube now, and it has the Discord link there. If that doesn't work, let me know. And that is where you'll find me and a couple other guys that I've met that are also doing some scenery design stuff. We'll be chatting, posting photos of things that you don't see on stream, and you can ask. There's a spot where you can ask questions, and you can interact a little bit with me, and then you can also get access to my Discord name and send me direct messages if you prefer to, and we can get in contact and get you started doing one of these things as well if you haven't started already. But the more of a community we build amongst the scenery designers, the better the scenery gets overall, I think. There's a live traffic, default live traffic Delta aircraft that's parked at our gates. Okay, so now when we load it in, we see we actually got all these center lines for all these parking spots. You can see the aircraft are parked right on them. Troubleshooting like exactly how to get them to park at the end of them when I make T's and stuff like that, that is going to be a bit of a project. Interesting, they spawn in with no nose gear. It's because it's got the tug right there. But anyway. See, it's pretty much lined up right on that line. So here we go. We've got our little taxiway lines with some static aircraft attached to them. I do like to have the live traffic on just to kind of populate the airport a little bit. Oh, we got some paint work to do here for sure, but you can see because we have the hold short line here. So it is the marked type of hold short line, which gives you the painting that says, hey, there's a runway here. And you'll see those pretty much all the way across this part right now. Now, if you're asking,
November 60 Victor.
Hey, GN Walking, welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving a little bit to the east, so I don't know if you want to try.
Welcome to the channel, and if you're interested at all in making your own flight sim airport or scenery design, this is how I am doing it right now. I'm not terribly experienced. I've never actually published anything before, so this will probably be the first one that I ever publish. It's extremely easy to do. It is time consuming to get the detail right and make it look really, really nice, I think. But it's very worthwhile, so I'm hoping to get the word out so everybody else can check it out and get involved. So if you want to join the community and on the Discord and say hello to me or communicate with me and the others, I should add it. Let's do that. Let's add a introduce yourself channel here, shall we? There we go. I'm adding a text channel for introductions to the text channels there.
Number 9, or correction, 7 Sierra Delta 1 able to maintain slowest practical speed. Your number 2 following a Cherokee to the left side.
Alright, so we'll slow it down as much as we can for 7 Sierra Delta.
There we go.
Sierra Delta, I can offer you the right side if you don't want to slow
Okay,
down.
so there's an introductions channel now, so if you decide to join the Discord and you're new to the Discord, just go ahead and drop a little line in there and tell us a little about yourself so we can meet you. Get to know who it is that's watching and joining. Right, so the buildings and the trees are turned off on in the inside of the airport property. You can see there's still buildings and trees outside of the airport property, but I've put a polygon down that excludes all those things from the inside. It just makes things perform a little better, I think, and run a little faster and smoother. The scenery is definitely begging to have AI traffic assets added to it. One of my taxiway signs. It's kind of a cool view if you have terminal building turned on. You can see kind of into the terminal area.
8,000, turn right heading 020.
8,000, 020 for jet 341.
Number 7 Sierra Delta, the airport's 12 o'clock. And
so the point of all this was just to make it look better and run better and everything than the default. Make sure everything's labeled correctly and all the taxiway signs and lights are in the right spot, whatnot. So in order to do that in the Flight Sim SDK dev mode scenery editor, you have to start from scratch, which is not a problem because there's a whole lot of learning that goes on from doing all these things from scratch. In fact, I've done like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even 5 different versions of runways already. I have spent a lot of time changing the techniques and methods that I use to make runways. We have 3 runways. There's one here, here, and here. So it was all sort of an evolution. Started with this runway, did mostly default assets in terms of markings and lighting. And then I went to this one and started doing a little bit of custom work. Did this one and I did almost completely custom work. And then said I like doing that better, which is how I got it to look like this, where you have 2 runways that are crossing where their markings are not crossing. Because by default, if I just use default markings on the runway objects, then these all would have crossed and it would have been a big giant mess in there. You would have seen center lines crossing and it's just a jumble of too much paint. But when in real life, one of the runways usually is going to be the prominent one over the other runway. So I was able to do that by just doing custom markings. It's a transparent runway, so you can't see any of the... Actually, all the runways at this point I think are transparent now. But so it's the actual color of the pavement that you're seeing comes from an apron. It doesn't actually come from the runway itself. You can add texture. Actually, runways come with textures by default, but you can set them as transparent so that you can't see it. And you can see whatever's underneath it instead, which is what I've done here. And then all these markings are my own. These are all just aprons, white aprons put on top of the base apron below. You can layer aprons on top of each other, which is... Unfortunately, these are not aprons. These are all just painted lines. I could make these aprons now that I think about it. And that's how I could get sort of the angled ends and get it to layer better. I like that idea. Some places where that makes sense. These blast pads seems to be one of them. So pretty much everything here is custom done. These are actually default objects. The PAPI systems are nice to use by default. The center line lights and touchdown zone lights I have default right now. The edge lights I placed myself by hand. All the taxiway lighting is hand placed. All the taxiway signs are hand placed. All the markings are hand placed. Everything about this thing is hand placed, pretty much, except for approach lights and PAPIs at this point, and center line lights. So it's all hand done, which means I get to use my local knowledge to make sure things are accurate and in the right spot. I can't guarantee that every single sign is what it looks exactly the same as it does in real life in terms of what it says on it. I think there's general convention that the airport uses, and I've tried to kind of follow what I understand to be that general convention, but I don't really feel like renting an airplane, which I could do. I could rent someone's airplane and just go taxiing around taking pictures of all these things. But that, I don't know. It would be somewhat expensive to do, and I don't know if that's a good use of time and money. I think when we can just kind of do these by themselves. Now, if any airport users actually want to get out there and actually are taxiing around and want to just snap a photo of every single taxiway sign you go by and send them to me, I would not say no to that info. But there's some things that are so far away from the tower that I can't even see using, like, oh, baby screaming in the background. Like using binoculars from the tower, I can't see exactly what this... Actually, I think I can see this sign. I think this one is accurate. But there's some of these signs I just can't tell, and especially if they're facing away from the tower, then I can't read them at all. Like this one, I'm not sure if this is what this says, but I think that's the general kind of convention that's being used. And also you can kind of tell by the photo scenery this is a really wide pad, and you can, if I took this off, you could see a picture sort of what the sign underneath it would say, so I just went with that. So yeah. The real interesting stuff's going to be when I start loading models in. So anyway, I was going to do taxiway structure. Structural objects. Taxiway structure, so the paths and whatnot. So let's go back into the scenery editor. Not getting great frames right now. I think it's because of the aircraft that are loaded in, which actually when you go in the scenery editor, it removes all the other airplanes.
November 6117 November, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 7,000.
And we got the too bright textures problem, so close it.
08617 November.
See the scenery's textures are one color, but sometimes when you load in the project, the scenery editor, it loads them with like a lot of extra gamma in them. Makes them all the textures that you've put in like much brighter than they are supposed to be. And see, it just got way brighter again. Did it again. Let's close it. So sometimes you just gotta open and close it a few times. I like to zoom, go way up, fly up into the sky. Come back down, let it kind of reload everything.
November 60 Victor, contact approach 126.6, good day.
We're back to 60 frames. Alright, everything's loaded pretty well. Gosh, all these parking lots are showing cars in them now. That kind of changes every time. It's just the sim sort of doing its thing, and decides, hey, there's a parking lot. I'm going to put a bunch of cars in by myself. Alright, loading. Oh, just did it again. Alright, well, the good news is we don't actually need this stuff for what I'm working on now. Lock all those up so I don't delete any. I've deleted this polygon, my exclusion polygon, which you can see. It's this pink thing that goes around the edge here. Defines where kind of the edge of my airport is. It's an exclusion polygon, so everything inside of that polygon is basically excluded here. I took out all the roads, took out all the buildings, all the street lights, power lines, it doesn't have those things too much. The street lights it does, but power lines usually aren't in there at all. Feature points, vegetation, I took all that out. So that's why you don't see any. Anywho, but I've accidentally deleted that polygon a couple of times just by selecting it when I didn't think I was selecting it. So you got to be careful with stuff like that. It's a good idea to lock a lot of these things, and they don't they don't save the lock status, so you have to kind of go in and do it all manually. Find all these runways.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Doesn't look like I'll be able to.
All I'm working on is are the taxiways.
Yeah, that's fine. And
don't need taxiway signs currently, so we'll delete those or hide those.
Skyline 222 Pop X-ray Greensboro approach. Roger, Greensboro altimeter 3014.
That performs a lot better in the inspector. It does outside of it. Still trying to figure out where it thinks a bunch of the terrain's supposed to go. So what was I doing? Okay. Paths. Opacity paths. I don't think I need to see any of these taxiways. Yeah, they're all turned off. We're just working on paths. 100% paths right now. So I just did the path that takes taxiway echo all the way down to here. The reason I reloaded everything and got rid of this photo scenery is because now I want to see the lines, and you can see these lines super well. This Bing imagery is like the highest resolution stuff you're going to get pretty much. My only problem with it was that it's horribly outdated. So I wanted to get the newer stuff, and so that's what I did. So that being said, I'm going to continue with all of this. So we have the hold short marking here. Some of the stuff I just don't care if it's updated or not, but the terminal parking ramps and stuff, I wanted that to be up to date. That's stuff that I care extra about.
3014, we'll get Oscar.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do Taxiway Hotel next. So I'm going to start from this mark, and I'm going to go to Scenery Points. And when I do click on one-click placing, then you can just kind of go, oh, I'm going to go bing, 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 bing. There we go. Hit enter. One click placing done. There we go. So this is Taxiway Hotel.
Say that one more time,
It's just all hotel, 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 hotel. This is a hold short point. No draw. I don't want it to draw the actual hold short line. If I just went and said hold short, then it's going to draw a line, like a hold short line there, and that is not something that I can edit. I have any sort of control over, other than I can take the path and like make it wider and stuff, and that's just junk. I don't really like that. So let's do a no draw. I'll draw it in myself eventually.
Approach number 231 Hotel Lane. I'm going to make a couple brief turns here to avoid some clouds.
And then you can go along it and say, hey, I want to split this. Make one more point. There you go. I'm going to split this one. Make one more point so it bends a little bit better. They don't have to be super detailed in terms of how the paths go around these corners, because if you notice, if you know anything about how the aircraft in the sim perform in terms of... Oh. Did not need that. There we go. In terms of like going around corners and things like that, they actually do quite terribly. They tend to, if you have curves, take like the inside of them and kind of cut corners. So you don't want a really detailed arc. Like this might be too detailed, in fact. It might actually try to cut corner and come into there. So watching AI traffic is horrendous in this sim. Okay, so something I didn't do. There's no points, and there's no intermediate points in this section here, so I'm just going to go grab, split it, and put an intermediate point in myself. We're going to come down to right about here-ish, and say, okay, there's this point, and there's this point, and I want to join them. So I'm going to select them both by hitting the left control and left clicking on these. So there's two that are in white, points that are in white now. I don't know how well you can see that, but they're there, believe me. And I'm going to right click and I can click create path. So now there is a little tiny path here in between them. And I'm going to split that path so I can draw this over to there. Select this path and do the same. I want to make sure I'm rendering the taxiway names so I can tell what's named and what's not. So this will be general. In general, I like to, if I have like a four-edged taxiway, I kind of like to go in and do half and half. Say like there's 2 of them are going to be the taxiway they're coming from, 2 of them will be the taxiway they're going to. So this is Echo until it joins Hotel, and Hotel all the way in. Oh, this one, why does that say Hotel Whiskey? That's just Hotel, sir. There we go. This is also just Hotel. All right, Hotel. So I actually don't like this. This is too many of these. Too many of these. So I got that one selected. I have this one selected, and I'm just going to delete those. So now there's no paths in between these spots. There's no path in here, but I can select this one and right-click and do Create Path. And now that path's name is Hotel. Oops. Then I can click this one and that one, right-click, create a path, and now that path is also going to be Hotel. So yeah, I don't have any of the surfaces drawn. There's no color, there's no coloration done here. There's no center lines or anything like that. There we go. Hotel, 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 Hotel. Okay, so these turns we don't need to put in. We don't need to put these taxiway marks in because a plane is going to come in. It's going to say, hey, this is an intersection, and then the taxiway goes this way, and it's going to cut that corner. However it feels appropriate. If I did put it in, kind of the same thing as here, it would cut the corner of the stuff that I already made and do some really weird stuff. So we don't want any of that. Not interested in any of that. All right, so from this point, I'm going to go and taxiway point, one-click placing. I'm going to do. There's one there.
Let me know if you need to deviate at all.
Give me one there. This is just defining where all the intersections are. One there. One there. Let's wait for the textures to load in. Looks like absolute junk right now. It's like I'm taking my son Aaron to the haircut on Thursday. Okay, I can do that. Where's my textures? Why aren't they loading in? Sim can be a little slow with catching up sometimes, especially when I'm doing whenever you're doing paths, placement of paths, it seems to really chug along. So I'm just gonna go there and say I'm done. One click placing, done. Now it's loading. Yeah, as soon as I did that, it's like, oh yeah, we can load now. And then the textures are much higher resolution. Amazing how that works. Alright, so why have I done all this? Because I want to get these defined. I gotta split this one because I have to do a hold short there. I like to do it on the leading edge of the hold short lines. So I'm going to make this a hold short. Good. Actually, sorry, hold short no draw, so it shows the little white arrow pointing this way. Good. Okay, so what I have to do now is take this point and go all the way down the runway. Notice the textures are still there. Huh. Funny how that works. And select this point, and I'm going to right click and do create a path. So now there's a path in between these, and now I have to change this one to type runway.
Right turn direct to Tertia when you see 721.
Approach 231 Hotel Lima with you at 9.
So I've just said, okay, now there's a runway here. And it's going to be a different color. While these lines, paths are depicted in light blue, the runways are in a different color blue. Slightly darker blue. So I'll select that, the runway one, and I'm going to split the path. So right here in the middle of the runway.
I think it was 366. Check your last assign. This is Greensboro.
This is the line that aircraft, after they land, or when they do their takeoff roll, they're going to follow.
313 Mike Charlie has
And there, create a path.
313 Mike Charlie, Roger. I'll have your descent here for you
This
shortly.
whole path is
right
a
on the
taxiway. Now it's not a runway. This is all taxiway. Hotel 3. So when I go and I split it again, it should, yep, it makes them both Hotel 3. That's what we wanted. So get in here just to make sure this follows the center line still. It's on the leading edge right there. I'm making this point. Hold short. This is a hold short no draw, but I think I'm going to need to do a reverse on this. Yep, let's get the arrow pointing the right way. Very, very good. Okay, let's go in and set these names. This is hotel. This one's hotel. Hotel 3, nice. This is hotel. Hotel. This stuff is easy, man.
First 231 Hotel Lima likes to descend to a 360 and descend.
These are both hotel. Should already know what runway that is. Yeah. It's inside of the taxiway, the runway object, so it knows what runway it is, and it automatically says it's taxi path 5 left. Don't need to name those. So this is a hold short, good. Hotel down to here. So as we get further and further down, I'm going to have to take this segment of runway and split it again. Sort of haphazardly move it down there. I'm going to take this section and split it again. Right about there-ish is good. Alright, now we want to get a little more detailed. Alright, so I'm going to start with this point, and then I'm going to go to this point. So when I do this and I do the create path, it should make this a taxiway still, yeah, because I started from a taxiway and went to a runway. That bit. So when you start with a runway and go to the taxiway, it would make this a runway path, but it's already made it a taxiway path. This is Hotel 1. And then I'm going to right click and split it. And this is a hold short no draw. It should be in the right direction. Good. Right, Hotel 1 is defined with the hold short. Okay, so now I'm going to go between this one and this one. So click them both. Right click, create a path. It's a taxiway again. Select the path. This is Hotel 2. You can see it there. I'm going to split it. Zoom in and make sure I'm right in the middle of the taxiway line, of which I am. Let's move this one over a skosh.
November 11 Yankee, climb and maintain 9,000.
9,000, 11 Yankee.
This is also a hold short point, no draw. Arrow's good. Leading onto the runway, very nice, very, very nice. Taxiway infrastructure, just so that it's not even just for AI stuff, it's also so that if you're using the in-game ATC, which by the way you should not ever do, that all of the instructions they give you are accurate. And between that one and this one, create a path. Oops, I have sinned. I made it a runway by accident. Oopsie daisy. Sorry, guys. Anyway, this is Hotel 4. Now this one's kind of wacky. A little wacky-do here, because I have to move this way over here.
Staying at 9.5 if it works.
1 Hotel Lima.
Good afternoon, Becky. 1-1 Heavy's with you, level 12, 12,000, information Juliet. Request.
Oh. Heavy 767's usually in a flight of 2 coming.
To maintain 11,000 and looking for a straight in for the overhead at 2,500 feet, right brake, followed by probably 30 minutes of additional pattern work before returning back to Seymour.
Yep, they've been doing this a lot at our airport lately. It's a lot of fun, in fact.
Taxi 11, yeah, there is some light to moderate precipitation in the vicinity of Greensboro. My weather's been a little bit unreliable today, but that's what I'm showing. As you get closer, you can let me know if you still want to do it.
So we'll call you back here in a bit. Thanks.
So yeah, a couple of heavy 767s from the airport. They're new. Actually, those are their new aerial refuelers, and they come in at usually in a flight of 2, not always. And they want to do pattern work, overhead maneuvers and stuff like that. It is a big pain in the butt, but it's a lot of fun because they're big, heavy airplanes, and so yeah.
Approach Warrior 826 Victor. Could I get a read back on that?
November 60 Victor, contact rally approach 132.35.
Alright, last split I'll have to do on this runway.
32.35, thank you for help, 60 Victor.
231 Hotel Lima, contact Washington Center 124.05.
Between there and there, we will create a path. It's going to make it a runway. We're going to make it a taxiway and say this is Echo. Alright, now I got the hold short there already. All that is linked. It's really hard to see these lines just because of how busy everything is with the texture underneath. And that's not really my fault. But in fact, we can go in. Actually, I need to go and take all these paths because I've done dirty here. I'm going to move them into the paths folder. There we go. Let's go ahead and make the runways visible again. Yuck.
November 222 Pop X-ray, climb and maintain VFR 4,500 for departure quarter.
I forgot there was a reason why I turned all that off.
Affirmative. I'm just going to put you on a left down one and get you a vector.
Get the hotel complex on here.
Up from the south.
I can see it, maybe I'll see it all a little bit better.
Okay, thanks.
I can see it a little bit better. Make sure things are of the right color. Does not give you the ability to do anything in terms of defining direction of taxiway, like saying, like, there's, I think there's weight limits somewhere. Yeah, there is.
I know what you did, but thank you. Taxi 11, say again where you wanted to break.
Midfield or approach in runway 23 right. But closer, we'll reevaluate the weather.
Roger.
Sears direct com.
MC direct initial.
Just making sure these are all light blue. And we have the runway defined. So now airplanes can get out down taxiway Echo and onto the right runway. Because previous what they've done is anybody that, which this is one of our main landing runways now, any aircraft that land there have been just, because there wasn't any taxiway structure defined, they just taxi straight across into the ramp. Like straight across the airport. So that was a problem, needless to say. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go say this is taxiway Delta. I'm going to see taxiway points, one-click placing, and we're going to start doing this again. I need a spot there. And a spot there. That's all I'm going to do for that so right now, because I want to take that point that I just made and connect it with this point. Oops. Okay, that's good. So right click, create a path, type taxi, there we go. So easy to do. If you didn't care much about what your center lines looked like, you could do this with your whole airport and actually turn on the center line. So like center line, activate center line. Next thing you know, boom, there's the center line. For that part of the path. It's not terribly straight. Oh, and I guess it is straight. It's not as technically accurate. There we go. By putting it in the right spot, it gets to be much more accurate. Nice.
Back 1-1 Heavy, you say you want to get down to 2,500?
2,500 affirm for back 1-1.
Back 1-1 Heavy, descend and maintain 2,500, and you can contact the tower.
2,500, heading over to tower for back 1-1.
Ugh, this center line is extremely horrendous. And that's why I don't do center lines, because it started wanting to curve over there. Anywho, so we could do that. Something I can change later. For sake of right now, I don't really want to do that. Let's just turn those off. Good. Alright, so Kilo now comes and joins Delta. That's new. Delta goes all the way down to Hotel 2, to Hotel A's. Excellent. It's coming alive, guys. It's coming alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive.
22 pop X-ray traffic.
Don't need these two.
6 miles.
So let's hit the delete button.
Enough of Winston, the citation will be climbing to 4,000.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Get rid of that. I just have I've changed the way that I was going to do these. All this taxiway paths and stuff. So I was thinking for a while that I was going to try to follow all of these curves, and then I actually tested that, and it was horrendous. It was a horrible result. So it's like, well, I don't think I'm doing that anymore. So some of these are kind of close together, and there's way more points than I need. It's much better. I don't know if I need all of that either. Give it a shot though. Alright, so this one I'm going to put right there. Come over to this one, create a path, call it Taxiway Alpha.
Jet 634, turn right, direct Genie.
Jenny's at Jet 634.
Jenny. Direct Jenny. And same thing here, get rid of that. It's between this point and this point. Trying to simplify this, taking out extra nodes I don't need. So maybe this will all perform very, very nicely.
4601 is 2.2, climb at 5,000.
Alright, let's remove all of that.
Number 4601, Greensboro departure.
Good.
Contact climb, maintain 12000.
Okay, so I'm going to need to split this.
12000 for number 4601.
Number 4601, turn left heading 030.
Split this.
Okay, left-hand turn heading
Just
030,
roughly placing all of these.
and then direct Jenny when able for number 4601.
Let's get all the intersections defined.
Or 04 Yankee, turn left heading 060.
Alright, so we'll go between this one and this one. Creating a path.
Inbound or 04 Yankee, turn left
And
heading
we'll call
060.
that, so it's Delta 1.
060, 04 Yankee.
And I want to split the path.
Limburg 4601, climb maintain 11000.
Okay, climb maintain 11000 now for number 4601.
And this is a hold short no draw. Arrows in the right direction. Very, very, very good, good. Very, very good, good. Very, very good, good. This is not a hold short. Actually, I don't want to do that. Get rid of that. I'm going to do this the way that I figured I should do this the first time. Let's do one more split here. This is sort of a pain in the butt, but got to do it. There's Delta 1 was pretty easy. This is Alpha 2. Start here, go to this one, create the path. Take the path, edit Alpha 2. Smooth this part of it down to there. Just try to get all my ducks in a row here.
Executive 634, contact Washington Center 124.05.
2405.
Right, now I'm going to split it. Hold short no draw. Arrow goes in the right direction.
Approach number 4601. Can we get deviation?
Delta
to the
1,
left
Alpha
of the snow in
2.
front of us?
Deviations.
Already got kilo defined.
4601. Deviations left are approved, and center just took your hand off contact. Washington Center 124.05, and let them know that you're deviating.
124.05.
All these points. This is too many points.
November 9 Romeo Sierra, contact Atlanta Center 125.15.
Okay, 125.15, but I'd like a right deviation past this build-up to past Thompson, 5.9 Romeo Sierra.
November 9 Romeo Sierra, deviations right are approved, and just let Atlanta Center know that you're deviating right.
Will do, 5.9 Romeo Sierra.
That's not okay. You're not supposed to do that.
Greensboro, 7711 Yankee. Is this my final altitude 9?
Alright, 11 Yankee, affirmative.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it.
November 04 Yankee, turn left heading 330.
Left 330.
Let's keep all these up to date. Kilo, 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 kilo. There's too many nodes. There's too many stinking nodes.
Contact Fayetteville, approach 127.8.
Fayetteville,
Call this the Node Reduction Act.
Affirmative.
Saving senseless nodes from
Thank you.
dying horrible deaths. Save nodes from dying horrible senseless deaths, I guess I should say. Yeah, like this node, nobody needs that node. Nobody needs that node. There's nothing in between here that we really need to worry about. You can make the case that eventually I need to make an access to that, but nobody's going there. There's no AI aircraft that need to go to the RVR, the midfield RVR. No vehicles need to do that stuff. Let's clean it up a little bit. Good. Okay. So I've simplified things a little bit. That is looking clean. All right, so we can get access to 1432 done. Probably come in here and remove some of these legs also, but I don't know. We'll see how that performs. Good.
November 04 Yankee, 3 miles from I-body, turn left.
And of course, we have the same problem here.
Established on the approach. Cleared RNAV runway 24 approach Burlington.
Beginning descent.
Roger.
Oh, I heard strip runner in the background.
About a 050 heading.
Becky 11 Greensboro departure, ident, say intentions.
For Yankee, no traffic is observed between you and Burlington. Report cancellation of IFR this frequency or via remote. Change to advisory frequency approved.
And then pick up our clearance back to Seymour Johnson if able. Northeast of the field seems to be a little worse.
Frequency change approved.
Borough. And you are cleared to, you said you wanted to go direct Raleigh and then Seymour Johnson, reference weather?
And sir, looking at the weather right now, I don't think we can go direct Raleigh from here. Stand by 1 moment.
It's pretty cool, the 7.6 versions of the aerial refuelers. have a lot more modern technology on them than the KC-10s do.
May actually work for us right now.
Taxi 11 Heavy, roger, cleared to Golf Sierra Bravo Airport via
So it's got
direct
future
Raleigh,
nodes set up
Golf
for
Sierra Bravo, climb, maintain.
access to this ramp.
Clear to Seymour Johnson via direct Raleigh Durham, Seymour 7000 for back to 11.
Alright, so I think what I'll do now this path, there's just paths, nodes, it goes on and on forever. Shut all the runways off. Make sure I can see what I'm doing. Start with the easy stuff. So start from here, go to here, right click, create path. There's our first one of those. This is Taxiway Mike. Oops, I want to capitalize Mike though. Caps lock off. There we go.
And departure back 11, request left deviation momentarily and then direct Raleigh due to weather.
Back 11, deviations left approved, just report back direct Raleigh, climb, maintain 9,000.
Oh, weather days.
Yeah, we'll go and up to 9,000 back 11 heavy, thanks.
We love us some weather days. Hold short no draw, points the right direction. Alright, so now let's just do Taxiway Mike, I guess. Let's just say I want to do this. Oh, no. Undo. How do I want to do this?
And departure back 11 heavy. We actually need to come a little bit of right of course now, deviation, and then direct Raleigh for weather.
Back 11, roger. There is moderate precipitation about 6 miles south.
Right, I'm just placing a point right there.
About 5 miles in diameter.
From that point, I'm doing one click. There we go. That's how we'll do this. And so this one will go here. This one will go here. And we'll say there. Then
Number 30797, roger.
There.
I'm showing direct sandhills from your present position. Should keep you clear of
go
the precipitation that I'm showing on my scope.
there.
Back 11 heavy, contact Raleigh approach 132.35. Good day.
32.35 back 11, good day.
There. There. I mean, I don't want to click placing anymore. There. What? Let's let it load in.
Green Square departure, Blue Streak 5390, we're at a 2.6 for 5,000, heading 270.
Blue Streak 5390, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 12000 and turn right heading 300, vectors for your approach.
Alright, climb maintain 12000 and right turn heading 300, Blue Streak 5390.
That was vectors for your climb, I'm sorry, Blue Streak 5390.
Okay, no problem, 5390, kilometer 12,000.
Here. Oops. What is going on here?
Blue Streak 5390, leaving 10,000, clear direct Chesley.
Leaving 10,000, clear direct Chesley, Blue Streak 5390.
Alright, I'll just end it right there for now. Because for this, I need to actually get into my... What's going on with all these?
Greensboro departure, Pilatus Jet 240, Juliet, Juliet with you. We're swinging back over to runway heading 230 through 2.6 to maintain 5,000.
Number 240, Juliet, Juliet, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 12,000.
Okay, climbing to 12,000 for Juliet, Juliet.
November 240, Juliet, Juliet, turn right heading 360.
Who was that heading for?
0 Juliet. November 0 Juliet, Juliet, turn right heading 360.
Okay, right 360 for Juliet, Juliet.
Alright, a bunch of those paths have been eliminated. Up to the top. Hide the paths. Unhide mics. I want to see this.
Blue Streak 5390, clear direct Chesley.
Clear direct Chesley, Blue Streak 5390.
November 0 Juliet, Juliet, turn, wind angle, turn right, direct Genie and advise.
28, good day.
128.8, Blue Streak 5390, good day.
Or 0 Juliet, Juliet, wrong airplane.
November 797, contact approach 126.6, good day.
126.7. For approach, Bonanza 3079 7,000.
November 3079 Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter is 3014.
3014.
November 0 Juliet, Juliet, area of moderate precipitation at your 12 o'clock, appears about 6 miles in diameter.
Juliet, Juliet.
If you're thinking that this looks absolutely horrendous, you're right.
0 Juliet, Juliet. Just wait
Now I have to select all of these stinking...
0 Juliet, Juliet.
Oh man, what a mess. No, 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 no.
November 0 Juliet, Juliet, contact Washington Center 124.05.
24.05 for Juliet, Juliet.
Draw surface ground merge. You turn that off. There we go. So now when we get to this,
Greensboro approach, Flexjet 37 is 15.3 for 12,000. We have Kilo.
Flexjet 37 Greensboro approach, expect runway 23 left. My plan is to keep you a little bit wide. There is moderate to heavy precipitation starting about 3 mile final. And then if you can't get the field in sight, you can expect the GPS approach runway 23 left.
We'll expect that, Flexjet 37.
Approach into runway 33 if that's available.
70 vectors for runway 23 left.
these are all just sort of guesstimations as to where these points actually need to go.
Flexjet 37, depart Hemby direct Brand.
Okay, after Hemby direct Brand, Flexjet 37.
And Greensboro, bearing 93 Foxtrot Echo with you 5,000 with Kilo deviating left and right.
Bearing 93 Foxtrot Echo, Greensboro approach, roger. Information Kilo, current, expect runway 23 left.
To effect 23 left for Foxtrot Echo.
Flexjet 37, instead of Brant, you can depart Hemby direct Nurley. That's on the RNAV 23 left.
Okay, after Hemby direct Gnarly for Flexjet 37.
Bravo Romeo, clear direct to Bachi. Deviations left are approved, unable deviations right.
270 heading.
Wisconsin 4009, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 1-2000, and clear direct Wayne.
Alright, I think I got it now.
Wayne up to 12 knots, Wisconsin, 4009.
Just gonna select these so I can do a sort of a global edit here, I think. I think I can do this to them.
November 8 Bravo Romeo, area of moderate
I'll
precipitation.
multi-select of these paths.
Southwest of the Greensboro VOR appears about 4 miles in diameter.
Yeah, roger. We're looking at that right now. What's the Bravo Romeo?
I can say Mike. Yep, and they're all taxiway Mike now. Phew. Okay, so from here, I got to do some connecting of taxiways. So I'm going to do select taxiway path object. So I got that node selected and this node selected, and I'm just going to right click create path. I don't need to have the path one selected now that I think of it. This is also taxiway Mike. I can go in and say that, hey, this is a hold short, no draw. Good.
128 this point, Wisconsin, 4000.
This is ILS. Not that this means anything, but this point is a ILS hold short, no draw. It doesn't mean anything. It's completely meaningless, and it will do absolutely nothing. It has no active function in the sim, unfortunately. That will be important in a minute.
November 554 Zulu, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3015. Verify you have the weather at Davidson County.
3015, and yes, I do have the weather at Davidson.
November 554 Zulu, roger, expect a visual approach.
Expect a visual approach, and I'd like to get a little lower whenever you get there.
November 554 Zulu, you're still about 15 miles from my airspace, so once you get my airspace, I'll give you a little bit lower.
Okay, let's take the 516.
November 554 Zulu, descend and maintain 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, 554 Zulu.
Okay. This will all need editing, again, with the Google imagery underneath, because I don't have a good source for where the lines exactly go on this side. This one I know is going to need to be a hold short, no draw, reverse. Oh, no, forward. I guess I did that right. So it'll be a hold short there.
Approach fans at 552 current Lima with you at 3,000.
November 552 Charlie Lima, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3014.
There's a lot of terrain.
And 2 Charlie Lima, verify you.
Angling going on here. Let's actually go to the top-down camera. This actually performs a little bit better for these things.
Buckshot 37, descend and maintain 3,000. The airport's 1 at 2 o'clock, 15 miles port inside.
Yeah, top-down will.
Okay, we got the airport
A little more control over these angles.
We see the rain shower you're talking about. We may lose it as we go through.
Buckshot
There
37,
we go.
Roger. Just so we're on the same page, it's moderate heavy precipitation starting about 4-mile final on the left side, down to about a 2-mile final, and then looks like mostly light precipitation on the right side from a 3 or 4 mile final to a 2-mile final.
Yeah.
Okay, any chance I get clear for the
Mike
visual
6.
at this point for 23 and 23 left?
I should know better. There's no Mike 5 on this side. That goes in there.
Left, you can contact tower 119.1.
Okay, clear for the visual 23 left.
Split.
91, Buckshot 37.
A little path split. Jiggle it around there. And this point will be a hold short, no draw in that direction. Good.
Greensboro Bear 93 Fox Decker.
Creating path. Mike 4.
Hey, Greensboro, Cessna 554 Zulu is clear.
Mainline, go ahead.
I didn't know if it helped, but we can cancel out far if it helps you, because we have a visual on the field. That way we can get lower and keep a visual to get in there for you guys.
Zulu, deviations right are approved when able direct Davidson County.
I will get back on there as soon as can. 554 Zulu.
Car traffic 12 o'clock, about 3 miles southwestbound. Altitude indicates 3,700.
Good.
We have that traffic crossing us now.
Hold short, no draw. Right, proper direction.
Okay.
November 3 Foxtrot Echo, affirmative.
This
Maintain
one should be
vehicle
really
at or
easy.
above 3,500 until advised.
Create a
And,
path.
expect
This
downwind
path is
turn about
called
6 miles.
After that, thank you, Fox Decker.
Delta. Oh, no. Yeah. That's a kilo 2, so. I'm at a loss here. I think this one's Mike 4, I think. Is that right? Yeah, this is Mike 5. Where's Mike 5? I don't know why I thought there wasn't one. Screwy. This taxiway does not exist. Let's actually just delete this node here. Actually, forget that. There we go. Not putting anything in there, though. This one's going to be a little interesting. So I'm going to go back to taxiway point from here. I'm going to do one click, placing there and there. And then from that point to
Number 3 Fox Echo, turn left heading 055,
zoom in for this
downwind.
top-down view being all different. There we go. This one, and this one are mic 1.
November 797, descend and maintain 5,000.
Request flight delay before
November 797, descend at pilot's discretion and maintain 5,000.
Discretion 5,000. Approachment at the 552 Charlie Lima, we have the airport in sight.
November 552 Charlie, cleared visual approach Tyler City and report cancellation of IFR this frequency or via flight services. Change to advisory frequency.
What is going on? My goodness gracious, kid.
The IFR.
November 2 Charlie Lima, IFR
It's getting a little uppity. Not happy about something.
Minor precipitation starting about 4 or 5 mile final, and then down to 2 mile final, and then the right side is just light precipitation.
Romeo. Make sure light easier, Fox second.
You're the only one going to the airport right now, so whichever one you prefer.
Weather request visual approach 36.
We have it in sight. Looks really
Oh
clear.
no, it's running away. It's running. It's running. It's running. It's running on me. There it goes. Whew. I have no idea what just happened.
Wisconsin 3169, Greensboro approach, information, Kilo current, expect runway 23 left.
Okay.
23 left, is the ILS out? That's what we got from the ACAR.
Wisconsin 3169, the ILS is out to the left side. It was out to the right side. I guess it's back in now. Would you like the ILS to the right side?
Okay, set up to the right. If we can get to there, that would be great. And we do have to.
Delta.
November 8 Bravo Romeo, contact approach 124.35.
2435, have a good day.
Weather at 9 a.m., request visual approach 36.
Greensboro 554 Zulu, direct right.
Transfer 128 Bravo Romeo 5,000.
It's about time to reload some.
697 Echo Charlie Greensboro approach.
Do a reboot here or something. This is getting chunky.
We do have IR 721 currently active, so it'll either be a delay to go into the airport IFR, or you can cancel before you get there and proceed inbound.
We'll probably cancel before we get there. And just for our awareness, where is IR 721 in relation to the airport?
The track that they use is about 5 miles to the southeast of the airport, and it goes from the northeast to the southwest.
Okay, just north of Pilot Mountain.
November 7 Echo Charlie affirmative, and halfway between Pilot Mountain and the airport.
Okay, we got it. Thank you.
November 3 Foxtrot Echo, enter right base, runway 23 right, contact tower 119.1.
Got the airport highlights cancellation clear time.
November 544 Zulu, IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Thanks for all you have. Have a good day.
Sure, 3,000 above Hibachi, clear for the approach, 128 Bravo Romeo.
November 7 Echo Charlie, descend and maintain 6,000.
6,607 Echo. I thought you cleared us for the visual.
November 7 Echo Charlie negative. It was just to expect the visual. I mean, if you'd like to cancel IFR at this time, you can.
Oh, wait a little bit. Our misunderstanding. Down to 6,000. Next Charlie.
November 7 Echo Charlie, roger.
3014, verify you have information Yankee at Winston.
Alright,
Wisconsin
back.
3169, descend and maintain
Multi-select.
6,000.
Holding down left control while I click on all of these.
Wisconsin 3169, you can expect runway
And these are all
23 right.
taxiway. Charlie.
1086 X-ray, roger, just advise Papa.
This one's a hold short, no draw. Corrected direction. This path is Charlie 1. Shouldn't need that anymore. Alright, two things happening here. I think I gotta move this one that way a bit. There we go. There's Charlie 1 selected. I'm gonna split this path. There. Hold short, no draw.
About 6,000 is
Good.
the lowest I can get you. Reference IR 721. So if you want lower, you will have to
Short,
cancel
no
or
draw.
plan to hold.
Hold short, no
Let me try,
draw.
we'll cancel this time.
Okay, so I've got the entire taxiway network of the airport
Squawk VFR.
installed.
The traffic in IR 720 or the military
For
route
ramps
is
that I have not yet
C-17 about 30 miles to the northeast.
drawn. I don't have any inlets, but I've got
see
the infrastructure there for when they are. Oh, wait.
November 7 Echo Charlie, change advisory frequency approved.
Alpha 4, guys. Alpha 4. How could I have forgotten Alpha 4? It's my favorite alpha.
November 8 Bravo Romeo, contact Winston Tower 123.75. Good day.
2375, thank you. Fall.
How could I have forgotten that one? Just kidding about the favorite alpha part. This one never gets used.
November 1086 X-ray. There's weather about on a 12 to 15 miles final. It's an area of moderate precipitation. About 12 to 15 miles final to Winston.
Oh, you sound so bad when you're...
West are approved if you need it.
Just stop talking. There's a... Oh, man. There's weather, I don't know. Area of precipitation. Come on, we do these all the time. There we go. Alpha 4 is there. So we'll add Delta 2, Delta 1's inlets to ramps. I'll do a later point. I actually get to those ramps.
Contact Winston Tower 123.75. Good day.
Okay. That should... Oh, wait. Look, got a bunch of paths in the wrong folder. As happens all the time. Better. Okay, paths are all locked up. We can save now. Left click. This is going to take a minute. Not a minute, but it's going to take a little bit longer because this thing is running slow. Yeah, 604 milliseconds is much slower. It's about twice as... half as fast as it usually goes. No. Yeah, half as fast, twice as slow. That makes sense, right? Somehow, some way, that makes sense. All right.
Wisconsin 3169.
So it's going to take a minute for us to unload this all.
3000, roger that, Wisconsin 3169.
Yeah, it's chugging. The sim is chugging a little bit. It's loading, unloading, all that stuff. This happens. The longer you're in the scenery editor, it starts to kind of everything starts to back up on itself, and I think there's a lot of data, like memory leaks and stuff that are built into it, so that it's got some bugs to fix. But over time, it'll get better. So we published. So I need to go to the MF add-ons, MSF add-ons, scenery. Let's do that. Let's go in here. Drag the new replace files. The easiest ever. It's coming up on quitting time, guys. It's about time to start getting ready for work, have a little lunch, stuff of things of that nature.
Airport inside Wisconsin 3169.
Wisconsin 3169, cleavage approaching right 23 right, report your base.
report base and clear visual to 3 hours, Wisconsin 3169.
Alright, so I'm not going into the editor this time. This should load quickly now that I've restarted the sim. Pushing about 2 hours and 15 minutes into the stream now.
55 Charlie Victor, Greensboro.
Got quite a bit of work done. We've done all the painting on the terminal ramp. Well, the preliminary paintings, I should say. And also done the entire taxiway structure for the airport. Excluding the ramps, which are not finished yet. But they will be soon. So a lot of airport out there. So we'll see if the AI aircraft do anything differently now. Now it's not going to physically look much different, I don't think.
Contact tower 119.1, good day.
It wasn't really the point of most of this. But when I go to the debug,
November 5 Charlie Victor,
draw debug, and that's going to show me all of these taxiway routes. See them here. All of the taxiways. You've got access to all the runways and all the intersections. Not all the ramps, though. All the ramps that have parking defined are accessible. Oh, there comes Baron 903 Foxtrot Echo. Let's watch what he does, shall we? Turn debug off. Draw debug off. This aircraft flies in regularly. I don't have approaches defined inside of the actual airport file yet. I don't know if I have to include those or not yet. It's sort of a big question mark for me. Waiting to see this barren land. See, right out here.
X-ray contact approach 124.35, good day.
12435 and a 1068 X-ray, thanks for the help.
Hear him now?
Greensboro approach to number 1068 X-ray, checking in.
Number 1068 X-ray, Greensboro approach, Roger.
This is the worst part, though, is that they slow to taxi speed immediately. That's the line down the runway that we drew that defines where he should be taxiing right now. He's pretty much holding the middle of the runway. Probably going to turn back out here on Hotel 4. I don't have any of the taxiway signs out here yet. You're gonna, cause I made the point like down here somewhere, so if he's gonna do a quick hard turn there, see, Oh, okay. I might have to add a node there. Was he going to Hotel 3 then? Didn't... These are not technically high speeds. They're not wide enough to be high speeds. Like, there's not enough distance between them and the next taxiway for them to be high speeds because they can't hold short on the taxi, on the high speed without going on to the parallel. But they do help expedite the exiting of runways. Yeah, you know how many planes would have to go around now? So he's going to get off here at Hotel 3, I'm guessing.
Remember, 5 Charlie Victor, would you rather have 8,000 or 10,000? 10,000, sir. Cloud, step out over. Parent 5 Charlie Victor, time maintain 10,000. Time maintain 10,000, stop out Charlie Victor.
Okay. This is a problem. Get off of the runway. So we're really going all the way. In real life, he would have kept his speed up all the way down and turned right at, and turned left at Hotel 2. I'm assuming he's going to go park at the terminal and didn't want to turn back. The logic didn't tell him to turn back, I guess. Let's see where he goes here. And... Are you not even turning at Hotel 2? Deciding. There it goes. Alright, at least while it kept its speed somewhat up while it was on the runway. Now it's made the turn. Just looks like a dummy airplane that has no idea where it's going. This is what we need beta testers for. When I get there, people that can actually spend some time staring at this and taking notes on what seems to work and what doesn't seem to work. And yes, this is a hill. It's not that big in real life, but there is a hill there. They would normally park at one of these FBOs over here. It's just cool to see airplanes taxiing along my taxiways now. This is the first time they've done it. TCL. Anybody know where TCL is? I don't know where TCL is.
Aircraft phone up unanswered. This is Greensboro approach.
Just gonna have to park at the terminal ramp because I don't have anywhere else for him to park. It'd be cool if we could kind of program in like preferred routes to taxi certain spots. Maybe we'll get that down the line somewhere. See, so that's the slower GA aircraft cut corners, but not as much as airliners do. There's a Wisconsin that's going to be coming in eventually. It's flying outbound to turn. They do this thing where they fly to the airport, then they turn around and flip back. Vectors to final in this are not very good. Should create a couple more parking spots on the GA ramp.
November 6 at X-rays, maintain VFR out of below 3,000, keep you clear of departures at Greensboro.
A signature ramp over here.
3,000 for 1068 X-ray.
So he's parking in the ramp. He's taxiing in the ramp, I should say. What else is going on?
Greensboro departure, prop Cherokee 91 Whiskey with you at heading 300, altitude 1,900.
Cherokee 91 Whiskey, Greensboro departure, radar contact, VFR altitude, your discretion, resume on navigation, Rockham, Charlotte.
Now, Roger, VFR our discretion, resume on navigation, Charlotte, thank you.
At some point here, it's going to flip around. I want to do this. Let's go into options, traffic. Airport ground aircraft, let's turn that down to like 20. It's doing its flip around.
Greensboro approach 1068 X-ray is going to start our VFR descent into Kinston.
And 1068 X-ray, roger.
Maybe it is flying the approach. Maybe it's doing the procedure turn outbound. Wisconsin coming in from Springfield?
Greensboro departure, Honda test 5-3, right turn heading 270, expedited climb 4,000 to 5,000.
Honda test 5-3, Greensboro departure, radar contact. Say your altitude leaving again?
We are now 3,000, climbing 5,000.
Honda test 5-3, roger. Climb maintain 1-2000, clear direct Wayne.
1-2000, clear direct Wayne, Honda test 5-3.
November 6-8 X-ray, contact Winston Tower 123.75 today.
I can't tell what this guy's doing at all.
For 1068 X-ray, thanks.
That's not how you fly a procedure turn. It's like a no bank turn and all rudder. Alright, yeah, let's get inbound to the airport if you please. Oh, AI. It's so random how they perform. So why don't you just follow the ADS-B stuff until you're established, like you're vectored onto a final approach course? Let's just do that. Why can't we program it that way?
28.8, Honda test 5-3.
So you're established on a final approach course inbound, I guess. Then let the AI take over. How far away from the air? I mean, we've got people that are this terrible at vectoring to final, but not every time. Okay, making our way back to the airport now. I guess that was sort of a procedure turn. Just don't feel like you'd actually do it in that direction. You'd turn it to the right to come straight in, right? I don't know. I do apologize. We are still in the developer camera, so it's a little jerky. It doesn't move quite as smoothly as the drone camera does. All right, we're landing 2-3 right. You have somewhere to park, because if it doesn't have a someplace that it thinks it can park, it'll just disconnect as soon as it hits. It'll just disappear as soon as it hits the ground. I got all that ramp space now that you can park in. You got the FedEx ramp. You got. I should reduce the number of ground aircraft that have spawned in. Yes, I think I did. I cut it back to 20% from 50. Landing gear down. See nose gear. That's good. I feel like I've lost my live ATC feed.
Letter 3013.
Alright, there we go.
Tracks with Kilo. Convoy 4059, Greensboro approach. Correction, information Lima now current. Expect runway 23 left.
Alright, any chance for the right side? We'll pick up Lima 4059.
I expect runway 23 right and depart tracks direct Guilford.
See, there's a bit of a dilemma that you always have here. It's like, okay, so not everybody's going to want the shortened 2-3 left. So a lot of guys are going to ask for 2-3 right. So, but these regional jets that come in here, it's like, well, it seems like they're okay taking the left side. So do you just assume that they can take the left side so that every time they come in you say expect the left side, or do you assume that they can't take it and say that they can expect the right side? So which one are you going to get more, hey, can we take this runway? So I default the jets to 2-3 right and then let them say any chance we can get the left side. I feel like that doesn't happen quite. I feel like there's less chance of you needing to change it, doing it that way, than there is the other way around. I say expect 2-3 left and then they ask for the 2-3 right, the full length of 2-3 right. Maybe I'm crazy. I am crazy, but you know what I mean. There we go, look at that. Airplanes flying right over cars, right over the localizer antenna, right down to the runway. No flare whatsoever, just plants firmly into the ground. Hasn't disappeared yet. See what happens when it slows down. Some will probably go to Hotel 2 as well, I would assume. Doing the usual flight sim thing where it slows down to taxi speed. And just slowly. He is taxiing up a hill, to be fair. Not taking Hotel 3, we're going to Hotel 2. Noted. So the sim doesn't seem to like to turn back to go this way into the ramp. Very interesting. Likes to take Hotel 2, which is what we do in real life. Really what we do in real life. IRL. But we don't have aircraft that taxi this stinking slow either. Alright, I might have to do something about this intersection to get them off fast, to get them off the runway faster, because they slow down and like they're about to make a 90-degree turn. Because, well, it's not a 90-degree turn though. It's like that much degrees. Okay, there he goes. This is what I kind of
November 5 Charlie Victor, Roger.
have anticipated happening as I'm cutting corners, and they did there, so. Okay, that worked out right. Now he's taxiing faster, but I did care for the slowing down there.
Approach, any chance we could maybe go left or right or something? We just got a bunch of build-ups right up and everything.
So that for
Come on, you gotta get your butt over that whole short line.
Convoy 4059, deviation left, no line approved, just gonna maintain 6,000 traffic effect.
Alright, we're gonna deviate left down to 6,000, 4059.
Boy, if we had a ton of traffic in the sim, it's no wonder these things get backed up. I mean, the AI just on and off runways are so slow. It sends all sorts of airplanes around. Some of them get fired.
Convoy 4059 is going to maintain 3,000 when able fighting 090 up to the base.
3,000 and 090 on the heading 1 square. We'll be just a second. 4059.
If there were other airplanes coming inbound, I would be watching them, but right now there's not.
Information Quebec at Winston-Salem, Greensboro, altimeter 3013.
Let's see how he does on this corner here.
And going 090, 4059.
Convoy 4059, roger.
How do you take 90? This is why. Wow, look at how much he's cutting this corner. This is so problematic. This is why I didn't program in these curves, because these 90-degree turns, they cut it anyway. He's in the grass. Nothing I can do to fix that. Maybe try to set the taxiway width narrower. I don't know if that would fix that.
Envoy 4059, airport 3 o'clock 10.
Inside 4059.
Envoy 4059, clear visual approach, runway 23 right, report your base.
Clear for the visual 23 right when we report a base, 4059.
I mean, it's not drawing the taxiway, so why does it matter what the width is? I guess you might try to keep them kind of caged up on the taxiways a little better. It's still in there. That property's still in there. It's the world's longest taxi. Taxis like DHL. There's a hill there, but it's not that big.
724 Alpha Alpha, we're going to start our descent for Boeing.
Number 4 Alpha Alpha,
Well, I'm excited. I know where it's going to park. It's going to park in that auxiliary spot over there. But it's exciting to see an airplane landing and taxiing all the way into the ramp. I've got to get more variation of models. I think the problem is, though, is any other jet lands, it's going to disconnect. It's going to disappear immediately once that spot is full. Maybe you could park there or on the FedEx ramp, I guess.
And approach 40,
See how it takes this turn here.
4059, thanks. Tower 19-1.
19-1, thanks, 4059.
Hey, there's one of the Opposing Bases podcasts. That's Alpha Golf from the Opposing Bases podcast on radar currently. If you have not checked that out, you want to hear a little bit of air traffic talk. That's has nothing to do with flight sim or scenery creation. Oh, we're just where are we cruising to? Where are you going? Then the Opposing Bases. That's BASES podcast. Opposing Bases podcast. Check that out. They just spent a couple of days in Oshkosh at AirVenture a week or so ago. Week and a half-ish, I guess. So Romeo Hotel should be there tonight as well. I think he and I are working the same shift today. We have the same schedule, so I work with him a lot. Where are you parking, Wisconsin? Everybody wants to know. You're going to FedEx. Why are you going to FedEx? That's a weird place to be going. So I haven't played with it too much, but I think there are tools that we can use to kind of define where certain airplanes or types of airplanes land, or where they park, what gates they go to. It's not something that is default to the sim, as far as I know, in terms of the dev mode. So I might have to do some editing of files, of the actual XML files for that to work properly. So that was something that in past sims you can mark up each parking spot and say this airline, this airline, this airline will park here. But I don't know if there's a way to do that now. So I haven't heard of one. If you're going to 2-3 left, I'm going to be very upset, because you should just be turning into this FedEx ramp now. Slowing down. You're slowing down. Thinking about it. You're going to take some wide frickin' turn. Yep, there you go. That's why I didn't draw them curves in there. So I think you're going to stay on the taxiway this time. That's nice. He's parking at 108. Now, I actually did draw this whole curve out, so we'll see how he does with that.
Okay.
I think you're going to 108. See how the parking goes. Ugh. Ugh. Why would you cut a corner like that? Well, this is already the worst parking job I've ever seen. Way to go, FedEx. You don't belong on this FedEx ramp. You can't park.
3235 for Raleigh approach, or 23 moving to loop.
guess we have to just sort of accept that, huh? Not only do the AI planes not take curves properly, they can't even park in a straight line. Alright, so it's shut down. See the air... Yeah, I see everybody jump into place here. Springing into action. The stairs are coming in.
Greensboro, Delta 2738, 14,500. Descending over track.
So because of how crappy it parked, everything's trying to move around the tug.
Delta 2738, Greensboro, runway 23.
I don't know what you do about any of that.
Right, your choice.
Ramp's just freaking out.
I blocked it, Delta
Oh, that's somebody
2738.
else's problem. Okay, well there you go. That's about as much test as I can handle. It was 20 minutes of watching them land and taxi in. That was utterly boring and performed about as well as I would have expected. So, thanks for following along, guys, today. We got some more work done. Some important steps. We've got a taxiway network for the entire airport now. We don't have the painting done yet, but that's just some time-consuming stuff. It's not hard by any means. So we'll get to that soon. This is really starting to look nice. I'm really just excited to start getting some objects in there. I think pretty soon we're gonna have to start painting some, or actually getting some objects in. Got a lot of painting to do. A lot of paint work. Pretty happy with how it's all going so far, though. All right, guys, we're calling it quits. This has been a good day. I'm glad any of you who have made it this far into the video or have made it here. If you have made it here, hey, it's Zephyrus. You always come in towards the end, it seems like. We're done for now, man. We did a lot of work today. It's not so much visual work as it is just creating the sort of the backbone of the airport. We did a lot. We defined all the taxiways for the rest of the airport. Previously, I just had pretty much from the ramp to this runway, and now I've got all the runways and all the taxi networks and everything. So ATC will work, and the little thing that gives you the little chevrons that show you, hey, taxi this direction. Those will all work now. It'll guide you using the proper taxiway names to the runway. And I did not make this taxiway right here because that doesn't exist in real life, so we'll have to do something about that. All right, and we put some paint. We laid some paint down on the terminal. So we got all the terminal parking spots are painted with parking lines. Got a bunch of other paint here on the ramp. So we got the main taxiway part of it is defined. So it's pretty obvious now where you're supposed to move about. This is actually kind of a holding bay here. And yeah. So we have a lot of really good work being done. Got taxiways into the DHL UPS ramp done. I haven't put the parking spots in yet. That'll be coming soon. What do you think of the texture here, Zephyrus? I changed the texture up for the terminal ramps a little bit, so it has a little more variation in color. It's still basically the same color, but now it has a little dirt and grime and wear to it, which I think is accurate. It's pretty old. I haven't done that. I will do something similar to this FedEx ramp, but so far I haven't done it. We just got the regular squares and a kind of generic look to it. That'll come along too. So yeah, I did the FedEx ramp yesterday. All the parking spots are in and everything, and the parking lines, the basic parking lines are in there as well, and all the numbers, the infrastructure, center lines. So that is in good shape as well.
Papa, descend and
Starting to populate. Starting to become an airport. Sorry to hear your work is busy, man. I hope it's going well and it'll maybe loosen up for you here in the near future. Yeah, I've been a little busy. It was tough to get any work done in the sim this week with family being back in town and everything. It's been a lot of things going on with them right now. So outside of extracurricular things, let's just say. So things that take us out of the house and spending some time with them over the weekend and whatnot. So, oh, it looks the sim just wants to rotate on me now.
1068 X-ray departure.
This is a fun ride.
Contact, VFR climb approved, say altitude leaving.
Okay, stopped it. So we'll leave it at that. We've got a terminal ramp that has a bunch of jetways, and once I allow the buildings and everything back in, you'll see them kind of right there at the terminal, and it'll look like a real live airport in very short order. It already does look like a good airport, but still more painting work to do, and especially on the odd side, I got to put some sort of ramp in for Honda and Heiko and Citation and all that other stuff over there. Ramps, stuff I've been really just procrastinating on and just avoiding because I don't really want to do them. They're not that much fun, but and I'm not happy with how the buildings look. But anyway, we'll get there. We're almost to an alpha stage, I think, where I can release it and people can use it and find everything that's wrong with it if they find anything at all. Taxiway signs are filling in. There's a ton of them everywhere. I don't have one there yet. Good to know. Don't have one there yet. Really not on this side of the field. There's some, but not all. That's something that I really have done a lot of work on down this side of the taxiway towards FedEx and back. See, there's taxiway signs all over the place down here. So those are coming along.
Approach at 552 currently, with you.
Lots of paint down here put in. I've got some flattening to do because this is all wonky. And then there's tackling that taxiway echo hump there. Gotta get that at some point. More or less already flat here on the cargo ramp. More signs, signs everywhere. Sign. Hey Aaron, good to see you, buddy. Welcome home. Little shacks I put in there. And the FedEx ramp. So yeah, a lot of work has been done. Still a lot to go, but we're almost to the point where this is a usable product for parking and all that stuff, as well as landing and taxiing around. So I've got this stuff in here, but of course it doesn't match the actual picture, which is an issue. But I'll take the opacity off of this piece here. Oh, looks it's floating again.
Unless you want the RNAV.
Charlie Lima, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3012, squawk 7267.
7267, 552 currently Lima.
Come on, there we go. So that you won't, even with this picture underneath, you won't be able to tell that it's not supposed to be there because it'll just look like it forms right in. And I got some terraforming of the land here to do too. Flatten that out.
Greensboro, altimeter 3012.
Yeah, the AI did its thing. I mean, it's so clumsy and obnoxious. It doesn't even work right. I could spend an hour watching this airplane do the absolutely wrong thing. But anyway, I've got to get to work and I'll have a good evening. I hope you have a good evening too, Mr. Sephirus. Like the video, by the way, if you can. That'll help. Hopefully we've got another new subscriber or two. I can't tell what we're up to now. It's still showing me 71. Doesn't show me how many I got till the end of the stream because that's not working right either. Technology just doesn't always work right. So there goes Envoy. Wonder where they're going to park. Anyway. Thank you, Sephirus. Good to see you. I'll probably be on again tomorrow. So I have another 3 p.m. shift, so I have plenty of time in the morning. Have a good evening, and I will see y'all later.
23 left, 2738. 552 Charlie, thank you.